Welcome, friends. We will begin shortly after this beautiful song. Good day, friends, and welcome to our Wesak Festival. The webinar will be presented in two parts. The first part, we will talk about the festival itself and the nature of the energies involved in that festival, and it will be followed by the second part, which is the visualization of the Buddha pouring his blessings out to hierarchy and humanity, and the visualization is based on the text that Alice Bailey gave us. So let's find out, what is the Wesak Festival? Well, it is the festival of the Buddha, who is the spiritual intermediary between the highest spiritual center, Shambhala, and hierarchy. The Buddha is the expression of the wisdom of God, the embodiment of the cosmic principle of light, and the indicator of the divine purpose. And at the full moon of May, the Buddha embodies in himself the powerful downpouring of energy the dynamic energy of the divine will. And for a very brief moment, in fact 8 minutes, at the Taurus full moon, he then makes contact and blesses hierarchy and humanity. And year by year, since he left the earth, he has come back to humanity, bringing light and blessing. And year by year, he has released this light for a slightly longer period, because humanity is more ready these days than earlier on. So how then does he achieve this? Well, we are told that he keeps a channel open for the light to irradiate men's minds by piercing annually through light substance to the earth. So from his high place on the third atmic plane, he keeps a channel open right down to the fourth subplane of the mental plane. And at Wesak, there is a critical alignment occurring between Shambhala, the Christ, the Lord Buddha, hierarchy, and humanity. And at Wesak, the inflow of energy from Sanat Kumara, Buddha, and the Christ triangle is stepped down through the triangle of the three representatives of Shambhala within hierarchy: the Manu, the Christ, and the Mahachohan. They invoke the Buddha, who in his turn is the transmitter of still higher forces and transmits the appeal to the one whose agent he is, that is, Sanat Kumara himself, the Lord of the world at Shambhala. But there is also another crucial alignment occurring between the Lord of the world, link through the Manu representing Shambhala, the Christ representing hierarchy, and Master Ah, the Lord of civilization representing humanity. The three great planetary centers, Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity, are then related, and they can be brought into a close relation so that the results will be the setting up of such a potent vibration and note that the spirit of peace will be invoked and contacted. And who is the spirit of peace, and why is he so important? Well, another name for him is the spirit of equilibrium. He is an extraplanetary being of terrific cosmic potency, and Christ serves as a channel for his directed potency, as he will not descend from his high place, being so pure. He is destined to bring peace eventually upon earth through the expression of goodwill, which will bring about right human relations. And we know that in the Garden of Gethsemane, Christ made contact with him for the very first time. Hence, Christ's name was the Prince of Peace, and ever since he has become Christ's very close associate. So what's the effect of the energies of the forces of light and those of the Spirit of Peace? Well, it's the illumination of men's minds with love and light, and this precipitates upon the mental plane. The Spirit of Peace will vitalize the responsiveness of humanity via the influence of hierarchy to the will of God, which has for basic intent the bringing of peace on earth. And the results of the direct alignment with Shambhala? Well, humanity will then for the very first time enter upon its destined task as the intelligent, loving intermediary between the higher states of planetary consciousness, the superhuman states, and the subhuman kingdoms. Thus humanity will become eventually the planetary savior as it is intended. At Wesak, the Buddha, the symbol of enlightenment or illumination, being the agent of Sanat Kumara, he organizes the forces of enlightenment. And together with the Christ, Sanat Kumara and the Buddha, that triangle then directs and releases the forces of enlightenment during the 5 days of Wesak. Then who are these forces of enlightenment released at Wesak? Well, they are a group of spiritual forces always present on earth on a small scale. But when released, they influence the minds of the new group of world servers, the selfless workers for humanity, and the thinkers in every school of thought, working in every field of human betterment. They inaugurate an era of right thinking in the establishment of right human relations. They intensify spiritual values, which will then determine objective policies. For example, the 4 freedoms and the Atlantic Chart. And they strengthen the will to good in all lovers of humanity. They work entirely on the mental plane. So what is the task of the Buddha? Well, we are told he does 3 things. First, it's to facilitate the impress of the will of God or the divine plan upon the minds of men via hierarchy, by being the intermediary between Shambhala and hierarchy. Then it's to keep a channel open for the light to irradiate men's minds by piercing annually through light substance to the earth, as we saw earlier on. And thirdly, to evoke in humanity the spirit of demand, whilst holding open for them the channel whereby that demand can reach straight through to Shambhala. The Buddha, the Illumined One, as he is called, releases the forces of light via the Christ and hierarchy on the Buddhic plane and the solar angels on the higher mental plane, impressing the divine plan on the minds of men on the lower mental plane, thus illuminating them to establish right human relations and stimulating them to ask for help. The Buddha embodied the principle of light and demonstrated the height of the attainment of the third divine aspect, while Christ embodied the underlying energy of consciousness, that of the second aspect. And these two together present one perfect whole. And we are told that's why both festivals, Wesak and the Festival of the Christ, must be considered as one. And the task of the Christ and of the Buddha at the time of the May full moon is to channel and redirect the Shambhala force. The Buddha at Wesak evokes in humanity the spirit of demand for the forces of illumination, will to good and life, and these are precipitated by the new group of world servers to humanity, and humanity, thus stimulated, asks for help. And at the June full moon, the Christ endeavors to gather into himself all that they have of appeal, prayer and demand, voiced or unvoiced, transmitting it in an act of spiritual intent to Shambhala. So what are we to do then at Wesak? DK makes one demand. He says, I call you therefore, everyone, to a great service of demand and of invocation on behalf of humanity. A demand for the inflow of light upon the decisions of men. I would ask you to request and expect the needed enlightenment for those who have to make decision on behalf of men everywhere. And your individual enlightenment has nothing to do with this demand, he tells us. It is a selfless motive which is required and which must lie behind your individual and group demand. There must be steadiness, selflessness, and silence, plus courage and confidence. confidence in the strength of your own souls, confidence in the watching hierarchy, and confidence in the plan. So I ask you, DK recommends that at no matter what hour the full moon each month may fall, to endeavor to keep half an hour free so that you can attempt to enter into my consciousness. Attempt to find some time as near to the full moon period as is reasonably possible in your own particular circumstances. And this, my brother, is to be a group effort, not an individual one. And it is as a group that I seek to contact you. So friends, here is a simple visualization. If your time is limited, just like a plant absorbs water, nutrients, and carbon dioxide into itself and reaches towards the light, imagine then groups of disciples gathering humanity's aspirations, people's longings for union with a divine unrecognized yet, their desire for a better life, for right human relations, peace and harmony in the world. And then just offer them to the Buddha, to hierarchy, the source of illumination and life, and stand in spiritual being in service to the whole. Then, just like the plant releases sugar and oxygen to nourish the other kingdoms, see then the groups radiating light in the minds of men, illuminating the mental world, stimulating men's minds to take right action towards right relations with one another, and strengthening the will to good in all those who love humanity. It's a very simple visualization that you can do. And imagine yourself being and standing with a group with whom you are affiliated, or as a group of souls. So may the blessings of the Masters rest upon you as a group and as individuals, and may the Holy Ones, whose pupils you seek to become, show you the light you seek, give you the strong aid of their compassion and their wisdom, until you stand where the one initiator is invoked, until you see his star shine forth. So this is, in a nutshell, the key points of the festival of Wesak. Now let's prepare ourselves to visualize what happens at Wesak during that wonderful ceremony, that legend. High up in the foothills of the Himalayan Tibet ranges, there is a valley called the Wesak Valley, surrounded by high mountains on all sides, except towards the northeast, where there is a narrow opening in the mountain ranges. Up towards the northern end, there is a huge flat rock. In that valley, there are no trees or shrubs, but it's covered with grass, and the side of the mountains covered in trees. There, a group of beings gather, the masters of hierarchy, custodians of the logoic plan in all their grades, all taught and led by the Christ, the head of hierarchy, the master of all masters, the teacher alike of men and angels. They place themselves facing the eastern end of the valley, in concentric circles according to their initiatory status. They all gather together for a great act of sacrifice for humanity. Three beings stand in front of the flat rock, looking towards the east. The Christ at the center, the Manu, the Rewan Master, on his right, and the Mahachohan, the Lord of Civilization, the Re3 Master, on his left. The three masters face the rock upon which rests a crystal bowl of water, and they carry a bowl too. And behind that small group of masters stand the other masters with all their initiates, disciples in their various grades according to their ashram. They all stand together with their cup in their hands. A crowd gathers there, some in their physical presence, but others in their subjective bodies, like us right now. So find your group. Join in with your soul, brothers and sisters. The whole great white brotherhood stands together as one in silence, very reverently, in disciplined purity, selflessness, and utter receptivity. Only the soft movement of people taking up their symbolic positions in anticipation of the Buddha's presence can be heard. Then a focused silence descends upon the crowd. It's a still night, not a cloud in the sky, no wind, not a sound or a whisper. All of us are poised, serene, and receptive, waiting in contemplative reflection for the presence of the Buddha, who will appear shortly for a brief 8 minutes to shower humanity with light and to bless hierarchy and humanity, transmitting the will of the Logos to us. The Christ takes his position at the apex of the triangle of masters as head of hierarchy, facing the east. See now the Lord of the world, Sanat Kumara, the Logos of our planet Earth, also in deep meditation, receiving the energy of will from the Solar Logos and passing it on to the Buddha. The Buddha, the embodiment of the forces of light, in turn directs the forces of light and the forces of enlightenment to the Christ, the embodiment of cosmic love, the agent of the Spirit of peace, pouring onto him renewed spiritual life and light. And now let us sound one united Om together with the Buddha and hierarchy. And let us see a shaft of light illuminate the crystal ball of water. The water, magnetized by the Buddha and the Christ, is the symbol of life, love and light, peace on earth, goodwill to men with healing properties to be imbued by all, renewing one's spiritual orientation towards higher values of sacrifice, selflessness, and service. The Christ bends over, picks up the ball of water, and gently pours some in the bowl of the masters, who then fill the bowls of their disciples. And the disciples in turn distribute to the rest of the crowd, each person pouring the water of life to one another, a true symbol of the Aquarian age, the water carrier pouring the waters of life to thirsty men. Symbolically, see the whole assembly, us included, turn to the rest of humanity. Imaginatively fill their cups with life, strength, light, and love. and see that symbolic wave of light, power and love carried further from the Wesak Valley to the whole planet, enlivening it. Imagine now our planet Earth radiating out the forces of illumination, enlightenment, and wisdom.
Let's intone the power of invocations as a group soul, saying them with intensity of feeling in unison with hierarchy. On the inner planes, and we grow, share significance, and believe that they embody the will of the planetary logos. Let the force of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the effort of the great ones, and so let it be, and help us to do our part.
Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming, save. Come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
Let's work with the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
And now let us raise our clasped hands above the head and say, and so let it be. And help us to do our part. Then bring them down to the forehead and let them rest gently on your heart.
Let's
Thank you, friends, for joining us. Thank you for your presence, your commitment, and your selfless service to humanity at this important spiritual event. The recording and the PowerPoint will be on our website, and if Zenadi can put the website address in the chat, That would be really good. Thank you, Zunaidi. So that you can use this recording or go over the note of the keynotes of Taurus at your own pace and absorb and digest Master DK's teachings.